1. Steelseries Arctis 7. Whatever you're listening to through the Arctis 7s, there's none of the muddiness or audio artifacts that have historically ruined the party for wireless headsets. It sounds just as good as the best wired models we've tested at this same $150 price range. The extraordinary battery life clocks in at over 20 hours out of the box, and after almost a year of heavy use that figure's hardly dropped off. You can keep playing while you charge, too, simply by connecting the headset to your PC with a USB cable. The Arctis range's distinctive ski goggle headband is really effective at keeping the weight of the headset away from your head. After a year of daily usage, the headband does slacken, which makes for a looser and slightly less comfortable fit, but the bands themselves are replaceable. We're big fans of the control placements at the rear of the headset, too: volume wheel and mic mute on the left, chat, game mix and headset on, off on the right. The retractable mic is a little quiet, but it remains perfectly usable. 2. Razer Nari Ultimate. Although we initially gave Razer nothing but side-eye over the Nari Ultimate for its seemingly frivolous integration of haptic drivers, hear us out, it's actually quite good. Because its vibrating effects technology, dubbed HyperSense, comprises a wide range of frequencies, it doesn't let off a static rumble on your ears reminiscent of holding a controller to your face in the midst of an intense shootout. Rather, the short bursts of pulsation the Nari Ultimate provides feel natural and unobtrusive. That said, the Razer Nari Ultimate is no one-trick pony. It sidesteps a lot of traditionally software-bound personalization features in favor of buttons and scroll wheels found natively on the headset itself. On the left side, you'll find a button for muting the mic and a game, chat balance control wheel, while, behind you right here, is a volume scroller and a garage for storing your 2.4 GHz wireless USB dongle. Speaking of which, wireless support on the Razer Nari Ultimate is a little disappointing given that only PC and PS4 support it. Nevertheless, those who also own an Xbox or a Switch aren't completely left out, as a 4.3-foot 3.5mm O cable is included as well. 3. Corsair HS70. This is seriously impressive work from Corsair, which has channeled all its expertise in higher-end models and somehow kept costs right down without compromising. Well, anything detectable. If you'd told us the HS70 was a $150 headset when we first unboxed it, we'd believe it. Stereo spread and overall sound articulation are the highlights here. The drivers tuned in line with the modern trend for flatter X and thus better versatility when you close down PUBG and bring up that doom metal playlist you've been working on in Spotify. The build quality is what really baffles us about the HS70's wonderful budget pricing though. They feel sturdy enough to last years, but light on the head and well padded. The slightly under-padded headband is the only exception. We're not wholly on board with that perforated metallic finish on the ear cups either, but that's literally a small price to pay for nailing everything that counts. 4. Steelseries Arctis Pro Wireless. Old meets new in the Arctis Pro Wireless, in the best possible way. The wireless transmitter station is almost identical to that of the older Steelseries 800 model, acting as a controls menu, wireless receiver via lossless 2.4G and Bluetooth, and battery charging station all at once. Meanwhile, the new Arctis headset design, lavished with a more luxurious finish than the 7 series, delivers on the comfort and sound. Winning combination. Being able to pull out a depleted battery and switch it for a fully charged one from the transmitter box isn't just convenient, it's a game changer in the wireless market. And with battery lifetimes in excess of 9 hours, it's perfectly viable to make use of that Bluetooth functionality by pairing the headset to a smartphone. Although the excellent sound quality is largely identical to the 7 series, there are sufficient bonuses in the Pro Wireless package to reinforce the extra spend. If you're looking for the top of the line, this is it. 5. Turtle Beach Stealth 450. $90 buys you a lot of headset in this surprisingly luxurious wireless headset from Turtle Beach. Build quality's always pretty solid, and the combination of gloss and matte surfaces makes for a smart look here, until those greasy fingers get involved, at least. A wide headband design keeps the weight from digging in at the top of your head, and the mic, although non-retractable, stays where you place it, which is a boon not to be taken for granted when it comes to gaming headsets. We're impressed by the solid 15-hour battery life too, but the real star of the show is the 7.1 surround sound via DTS Headphone X. It's not unusual to see this on the spec sheet of a wireless set, but implementation does vary and the sense of space from these cans is really impressive. No, not just impressive. Important. If you play a lot of battle royals or online shooters in which sound cues are vital, this is a competitive offering for the price. 6. Asus ROG Strix Wireless. If you want to stand out while wearing a pair of headphones, these are your dream. An unorthodox design intended to highlight its enormous drivers defines the ROG Strix. While it might look a bit Angry Birds, there's no denying the power of its low end or spaciousness of the surround sound. Front and rear 40mm drivers are joined by a 30mm center and 220mm at the side and rear. Dolby's virtual surround gives true surround a real run for its money these days, but the articulation within these ear cups is really impressive. And when you want a more precise sound, you can pare it down to a stereo headset, if you can figure out the USB audio station's controls. One problem, unfortunately, even in this configuration, the bass ends up being a shade too powerful for everyday use, and can muddy music by being overbearing. 7. Astro Gaming A50. Another candidate that missed out by a whisker for our best overall pick. Flawless in-game sound and bomb-proof build quality are the headline acts here, as you'd expect of a model bearing the Astro name. The A50 might be geared up for consoles as much as PC, but there's no real drawback to that when you do get it set up with the latter. As with several other of our picks, the A50 comprises a headset and USB base station which acts as a set of controls as well as a wireless receiver, transmitter. Few do it with quite this much style, though. The chink in its armor is in the battery charge, however. There have been issues with battery draining while the headset's off, and with some users unable to properly charge in the first place. It's hard to gauge how widespread these issues are, but they do tarnish an otherwise exemplary package. 8. Bose QuietComfort 35-2. Well, why not? Increasingly, gaming headsets are used across all platforms including smartphones, so it only makes sense to consider a pair of headphones intended for multi-device usage for your gaming setup. It's a particularly seductive idea because Bose does comfort better than, arguably of course, anyone else. It's in the title, after all. The memory foam padding around each ear cup here, along with a lightweight design and ultra-soft leatherette pads, make the QuietComfort 35-2s comfortable for mammoth sessions. Sound quality is wonderful too, although as you'd expect it's not a particularly flat frequency response. These headphones are designed to sound good, rather than as the sound actually is, and while that's brilliant for listening to some music and watching films, there are certain games where all the low end and the scooped mids become noticeable. You can use the built-in mic on PC using Bluetooth HFP, hands-free protocol, but it's a fiddler solution than true gaming headsets offer, and making adjustments to chat, game mix is a real hassle by comparison, so we'd advocate using a separate mic like the evergreen Blue Yeti if you do go down this route. The rewards, should you choose to do so, are fantastic comfort and sound, industry-leading noise cancelling whenever you want it, and an all-in-one solution across your devices.